Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Inner Spark, the place where stories meet inspiration and where each word is a gentle reminder to never give up on the life you truly deserve. Today's story carries a powerful lesson wrapped in emotions, decisions, and the silent ticking of the clock. It's called, If You Waste Time, Time Will Waste You. Life is not about how much time we are given, but how wisely we choose to spend it. Some people spend years waiting for the right moment, while others create their own moment. Dreams fade not because they're impossible, but because we waste the time meant to build them. Before we begin, make sure you like this video, subscribe to Inner Spark, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story that could change your life. Now let's dive in. Sam, a young man from Manchester, always believed life had endless tomorrows. He was talented, witty, and full of big dreams about becoming a writer. But instead of putting words on paper, he spent his evenings scrolling through his phone, convincing himself he'd start tomorrow. His friends admired his ideas, but even they began to lose hope when his promises to begin never became reality. Sam didn't see it then, but every wasted hour was writing a story he never intended to tell. One evening, while sitting in his flat with a blank notebook open, his best friend, Emma, walked in and asked, "When are you going to start, Sam?" He laughed it off and said, "Don't worry, Emma, I have plenty of time." But Emma's eyes told a different story. She had just been offered her dream job in London and was leaving in 2 weeks. Suddenly, Sam felt a pang of fear, not because Emma was leaving, but because he realized time wasn't slowing down for him either. He tried to comfort himself by saying life was long, and he'd get around to it. Yet that night, lying in bed, he couldn't shake Emma's words. He thought about the last 5 years he had spent waiting for inspiration, waiting for the perfect moment. Deep inside, he knew inspiration was never the problem. Procrastination was. Still, he closed his eyes and told himself the same lie. Tomorrow, I'll begin. Days passed quickly, and Emma left for London. She called Sam one night, excitedly telling him about her new office, the projects, and the energy of the city. He congratulated her, but after hanging up, he stared at his silent room. Nothing had changed for him. His notebook remained blank. His heart ached with guilt because he knew he had the same potential as Emma. But unlike her, he had wasted his chance. One Saturday, Sam was invited to a reunion. Old school friends gathered, sharing stories of their careers, travels, and achievements. Everyone seemed to be moving forward. When asked what he had been up to, Sam mumbled something about working on ideas. But inside, shame burned like fire. He wasn't working on anything. He was working on wasting his life. The laughter around him only highlighted his silence. After the party, Sam walked home under the dim streetlights. Each step echoed the truth he didn't want to face. Time was leaving him behind. He remembered how, years ago, he wanted to publish a novel before turning 30. Now 30 had arrived, and he had nothing to show. For the first time, he felt the weight of wasted years pressing down on him like a heavy stone. The following morning, Sam tried to write, but doubt consumed him. Maybe it's too late, he thought. His mind whispered that the world had already moved on, that others were younger, sharper, and more determined. He nearly closed the notebook again, but something inside whispered, if not now, then when? That whisper was faint but powerful, almost as if time itself was giving him one last chance. Driven by this inner voice, Sam began writing small paragraphs daily. At first, his words were clumsy, scattered, and nothing like the masterpiece he had imagined. But as days turned into weeks, he noticed progress. The blank pages began to fill. Still, every missed day reminded him how fragile momentum was. He realized time didn't forgive, it only measured what he gave. Months later, Sam finally completed his first draft. It wasn't perfect, but it was something real. He shared it with Emma, who encouraged him to polish it and send it to publishers. But Sam hesitated again, thinking, maybe next year I'll perfect it. That dangerous thought nearly pulled him back into his old cycle. Emma, firm but kind, reminded him, "Sam, dreams don't die because they're impossible. They die because people waste time chasing perfection." Taking her words to heart, Sam finally sent his manuscript. Rejections came quickly, one after another. Each email stung, and doubt whispered again. He wanted to give up, but something stronger had been born inside him. The understanding that time wasted before had already hurt enough. He refused to waste anymore. He revised his book, kept submitting, and kept writing. 2 years later, a small publishing house in London accepted his novel. Holding the contract in his hands, Sam couldn't believe it. He thought back to the years he had lost, the nights wasted on excuses, and the countless tomorrows he had promised himself. Tears filled his eyes, not of sadness, but of relief. Time had finally rewarded him because he had stopped wasting it. When the book was released, Sam attended a launch event. People he didn't even know lined up to get his autograph. Strangers told him his story moved them, that his words gave them courage. In that moment, Sam realized something profound. Time may waste those who ignore it, but it also honors those who finally respect it. His wasted years were gone, but his future was now alive. As success grew, Sam began speaking at universities, sharing his journey. He warned students not to wait for perfect timing. He told them the truth. If you waste time, time will waste you. His voice carried both regret and hope, and students listened closely, seeing themselves in his story. He knew he couldn't change the past, but he could change others' futures. Even as his career flourished, Sam never forgot the emptiness he once felt. Whenever he felt tempted to delay, he reminded himself of those silent nights with a blank notebook. They were painful, but they were also the fire that pushed him forward. He used that fire to keep writing, never letting procrastination steal his tomorrow again. Years passed, and Sam became a respected author. Yet, in every interview, he admitted his biggest lesson. Wasted time is the one debt you can never repay. His honesty made people trust him, and his books weren't just stories. They were reminders of how fragile opportunity is. He built a life he once only dreamed of, but it had all started with a painful realization. Looking back, Sam often thought about the reunion, the shame he once felt among his friends. Now, he smiled at the memory, not with arrogance, but with gratitude. That night of humiliation had been a turning point, a slap from time itself, waking him before it was truly too late. He finally understood that time was not his enemy. It was his strictest teacher. One twist came years later, when Sam discovered Emma had also written a book while working in London. When he read it, he was stunned. It was about him, about a friend who wasted years waiting for the right moment. She had disguised the characters, but he recognized himself instantly. At first, he felt exposed, even betrayed. But as he read on, he realized Emma's book had been written not to mock him, but to push him. Her words were a gift wrapped in honesty. Instead of being angry, Sam thanked Emma. Without knowing it, her book had lit a fire under him when he was at his lowest point. He realized time had been testing him through others, through failures, and through shame. That twist in their friendship only deepened his respect for time's strange way of teaching lessons. He understood now that even pain was never wasted if it led to growth. Whenever he saw young dreamers hesitating, Sam would tell them, "Start now. Don't wait. You'll never regret starting too early, but you'll always regret starting too late." Those words carried the scars of his own past, but also the triumph of his present. His story wasn't just about writing, it was about living. The lesson Sam's journey teaches us is simple but sharp. Life won't pause for you. Every wasted day is a step backward, and no apology to yourself can bring it back. Time will either be your greatest ally or your harshest enemy. The choice lies in how you treat it. Sam's story is a mirror for all of us. We tell ourselves we'll begin tomorrow, but tomorrow has a way of becoming never. If you waste time, time will waste you. But if you choose to respect it, time will reward you more than you could ever imagine. So what are you waiting for? Pick up your pen, your dream, your passion, whatever it may be, and start today, because your future self is begging you not to waste the time you have right now. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share Inner Spark, the place where stories ignite the light within you.